ब्रह्ममुरारिसुरार्चितलिङ्गं निर्मलभासितशोभितलिङ्गम् जन्मजदुःखविनाशकलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् देवमुनिप्रवरार्चितलिङ्गं कामदहं करुणाकरलिङ्गम् रावणदर्पविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम्
अच्युतं केशवं रामनारायणं कृष्णदामोदरं वासुदेवं हरं श्रीधरं माधवं गोपिकावल्लभं जानकीनायकं रामचन्द्रं भजे। अच्युतं केशवं सत्यभामाधवं माधवं श्रीधरं राधिकाराधितं इन्दिरावन्दितं चेतसा सुन्दरं देवकीनन्दनं नन्दजं सप्तदे। विष्णवे जिष्णवे शङ्खिने चक्रिणे रुक्मिणी रागिणे जानकी जानकी वल्लभी वल्लभा याचिता यात्मने कंसविध्वंसिने वंशिने ते। कृष्ण गोविंद हे राम नारायण श्रीपते वासुदेवाजित श्रीनिधे अच्युतानंद हे माधवादोक्षज द्वारका नायक द्रौपदी रक्षक। राक्षस शोभित सीतया शोभितो दण्डकारण्यभूपुण्यताकारण लक्ष्मणेनान्वितो वानरैः सेवितो अगस्त्य सम्पूजितो राघव पातु माम्। विद्युदुद्योतवत् प्रस्फुरत् वाससं प्रावृढं बोधवत् प्रोलसत् विग्रहं वन्ययामालया शोभितोरस्थलं लोहिताङ्घ्रिद्वयं वारिजाक्षं भजे. कुञ्चितै कुन्तलै राजमानाननं रत्नमौलिं लसत् कुण्डलं गण्डयो हारकेयूरकं कङ्कणप्रोज्ज्वलं किङ्किणीमञ्जुलं श्यामलं तं भजे.
Very warm good morning to everyone. The guest has been arrived. I kindly request everyone to be seated. I welcome all of you to the There is a slight changes in the inaugural function of IEEE ICDSNS 2024. So we are you're starting with the keynote session from one of our chief guests, Mr. Chandrasekhar BU, sir. A very warm good morning to one and all assembled here. It's my earnest privilege to welcome one of our chief guests, Mr. Chandrasekhar BU, Senior Architect, Synopsis Incorporation, Bengaluru, to the August gathering here. Sir, I welcome you, sir. So please. Please, sir. Please welcome. Chandrasekhar BU sir is a senior architect at Synopsis Incorporation, Bengaluru. He is going to give a session on VLSI in artificial intelligence. So he is going to explain us about how the hardware is going to be incorporated through the artificial intelligence. Sir, we are eagerly look forward for your session, sir. I'll hand over the session to you, sir, now.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Yeah. So, do we have the slides ready? Yeah, can you get me a pointer here? Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so I am Chandrasekhar. So I've been in the industry for almost 30 years. And before that, I studied in RVC. So, and then I did my ME in ECB department, IASC. So I am very much a Kannadiga. So I was not born in Bangalore, but then from 76 I've been in Bangalore, and I've traveled all across the world, and I do have, I feel, a good experience, especially in the field of VLSI. So let's start off, okay? Yeah, thanks. I think it's working. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. I'll give you a brief of what is AI today, and then talk something about ecosystem, what artificial intelligence ecosystem is all about. And then I want to take you through one example of actual VLSI platform. And this is a totally hardware, okay? So I am a person who is in the VLSI industry. I won't talk a lot about the application side of things, nor do I talk about all the algorithms and the software that goes in AI. I'll be talking about how the hardware is there, which will facilitate all the AI applications that are there throughout the AI industry. Okay. So I will give an example of a VLSI platform, which is for image processing, and then talk about what are the typical building blocks that are there in VLSI SoCs, and what we call as high performance computing platform, the HPC platforms. Also, very interestingly, right, even in VLSI, to build the VLSI systems, we use artificial intelligence. You understand? So there are both ways, okay? If you see, there are chips that are used to really build this whole AI system, but then the chips themselves are actually being made by the use of AI. So it's something like the reverse that I'm going to talk about. And Synopsys is one company which builds all these tools. Okay, so it's called as electronic design automation tools. And I very closely work with these tools. So I'll talk about how AI is used in those tools. And I will come to the closing thoughts. All right? Okay, so we'll start with the first session, which is the AI today, okay? So we'll start with something that all of us know, which is ChatGPT. Okay, so we have heard about all these generative AI, transformers, foundation model, chatbox. I'm not going through the whole slides, okay? So whole slide there. I want you to concentrate on whatever is in red there, okay? So here, if you look at all these systems, okay, and you look at the architects, basically generative AI techniques, right? They learn from the representation of artifacts from data and models. So there is a lot of data that is involved, and modeling also that is involved. So that is one point that I want to make here. And the second thing is that these GAI, the generative AI, they generate all these images or music or speech or whatever it is, right, by interpreting and manipulating this pre-existing data. So the third thing that is there, which is the last point at the left down there is, so you can see that all these transformer architectures, they are capable of handling multiple data modalities. All right. So you can see that whenever we talk about AI, it is always about data, and then there is always about computing, right? So even if you talk about just the chat GPT itself, it is based on the LLM model, right? It's a large language model which interprets all the input that you give, and then it will give you the output, right? So there also, if you see, right, there are large amount of text data that is there, and then a significant number of parameters, usually exceeding almost 100 million. So if there are 100 million parameters to be considered before you give an output, right, you can imagine the amount of computing that is required to do that, right? So there is a lot of computing that is required, and that is where the whole issue comes from. For example, if you see, there are billions of words from multiple sources that ChatGPT looks at, and then there are algorithms that are producing continuously reinforced learning, and then from there we get the data, the actual information from platforms like ChatGPT. Okay. So with this introduction, what I want to give is next slide, please. I think the slide pointer is not moving. You can go to the next slide. Yeah. So if you see the set of keywords there, right? It is a set of artifacts. It's a set of artifacts from data and models. The previous slide. Okay. And interpreting and manipulating pre-existing data, capable of handling multiple data modalities, large amount of text data, and parameters using hundreds, millions, billions of word, multiple sources. Summary, it is large data which requires huge amount of processing. It's called as high performance computing. Okay. So that is the field that is really important for VLSI, which is HPC, we call it, the high performance computing. Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah. So here, if you see this HPC platforms, right, it is not that all these work in just one place. Okay. So you all use your mobiles. So that is something like called as an edge network. Okay. So in the edge network in the mobile, we have what we call as end devices. Those end devices are the mobiles or laptops that you use. And then from there, there is some amount of work done even at the user premises itself. So this is not very evident unless you go to IoTs. Okay. So if you go to IoT, this is a technology in which you have some of the information that is already being done even at the premises of a user, end user. So they are called as edge devices. Okay. So these edge devices are sitting at the premises of a user, and they also are capable of doing some kind of a computing. Okay. So this whole thing that is there at the edge is called as the edge computing network, and there is a lot of these things that happen at cloud. So that's how it really works, and so you have these distributed intelligence that is there. The point to note is that there is not one kind of intelligence, because in every place you need a different kind of an approach to build the hardware. Okay, so that's the point to be noted. Okay, so next slide, please. Okay. And if you look at the market segments for AI hardware, I've given so many of these examples. Okay, so you have right from the edge, then the edge computing AI artifacts, the cloud AI accelerator, then on-device AI, the edge device. So these are all very different market segments, I would say, for AI hardware. I mean, in other words, to put it in simple words, what does it mean? There is a hardware at user premises. It's going to be very, very different from what is there at a server, which is sitting and then doing your chat GPT algorithm at open.ai, right? So that is how it is going to be, and for each one of them, you require a different way of building your VLSI architecture, okay? So that's what this slide talks about, that you have different markets itself for AI hardware, okay? Yeah, go to the next slide, please. Okay. So the next thing I'm talking about is AI ecosystem. which actually talks about like where are we with respect to AI itself. So to give that example, what I'll do is I will compare AI with what we know very well, which is smartphones. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, where I talk about what is this ecosystem. Okay, so ecosystem is something where companies just come together to do something which would benefit all of them, and there is a mutual benefit that is there for each one of them. Each one of those companies play a role, and then they create wealth for themselves. Okay, so that is the ecosystem that the companies look for. See, after all, if you look at the whole industry, right? Industry is looking for return on investment. So there is a lot of investment that goes on all these different companies, and then these companies are looking at return in these investments. So here, if you look at it, right, in this whole, any industry, if you look at, right, there is a lot of leverage that is taken from each and every company. They work together to form an ecosystem. So yeah, just one more click. Yeah. So here, if you see, right, there are a lot of components that I have given here, like the computer manufacturers, the device mainstream, OS developers, service providers, the services, and the application-centric developers. These are all the different components that are part of smartphone ecosystem. Okay, so the smartphone requires all of them. Like on the left side you have these component manufacturers who give you the microprocessors, and then they give you all these. I think it's better if you can make it full screen. May not be visible to everyone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can see that there are GPUs, memories, and displays that are there on the left-hand side. Then you have these device manufacturers. There are all these different manufacturers which actually give you the devices that were required for your smartphones, right? So you have heard about all these brands. So you have Apple, Samsung. They are all the smartphone guys that you know about, right? So I've listed all of them. Then we have different OSs, like the Android, the iOS, Windows, and you have service providers like our AT&Ts, our Airtel, and Jio, right? So you also have services on them, like you get some cloud storages, you get some ads, so on and so forth, right? And last but not the least, on that you have these apps. So these apps are the ones which really make the whole thing very attractive, right? So what I'm trying to see and then put here is, like, to build all this, right, you need to have differentiation, like each one is concentrating on different segment, and then together they form this ecosystem. And if you go to the next slide now, if you look at the hardware itself of a smartphone, right, you will have something called as a baseband processor, and then you'll have an application processor, okay? And each of these elements, they'll have their own things, like an application processor has a DRAM, flash memory, etc., etc. Then the digital baseband processor has a SIM card, then an SRAM. You have an analog baseband processor, radio frequency. So there are a lot of sensors as well, right? You'll have sensors for everything. Like if you want to even just pick up the phone, there is a sensor which picks up what you're doing, right? So all these are there, and in order to see that these are having compatibility with each other, we need to have some kind of commonality, okay? So how is this commonality built? That we'll look at it in the next slide, okay? So they're all possible only if you have specifications, okay? So yeah, one more click. And also what happens is all these things should work in a particular technology, right? So you have different foundries. You have global foundries, TSMC, Samsung, Intel. They are the ones who actually build these wafers and then give us the chips that sit in our phones, right? So all of them should be having these things built, the baseband processor, the application processor elements, such that they can be targeted to these particular nodes. Okay, when we talk about nodes, there are all these technologies which are at 3 nanometer, 2 nanometers. So they are all very, very different. Okay, but you need to have all of them work together in one chip. So these are the two things that are there, and most importantly, it is the specifications. And in the smartphone, next click please. So you can see that there is something called as MIPI. So this is called as the Mobile Industry Processor Interface. Okay. So this is a standard body. So if we go to the next slide, you can see that there is something called this MIPI Alliance, which is a global business alliance that develops technical specifications for mobile ecosystem. So you have many working groups there, and then they give all the specs. So if you look at how the battery has to be interfaced, how the camera has to be interfaced, your display has to be interfaced, everything there is a standard. Okay. So why do we really have these standards? So that you can interop with each other. So then what will happen is once you have components that are built which can easily interface with each other, then the cost will come down. Okay. So this is an example of a system, ecosystem, which is very well developed, and then the standards are also built for over the years. So you see, for example, right, 10 years back, even if you wanted to charge a particular smartphone, the connectors used to be different. Now all of us have Type-C, right? So it took almost 10, 15 years to 20 years to come to Type-C. So this is what I'm talking about, where you have a commonality with all the things that you do, so that you reduce the cost. You don't have to build a charger for Type-C, for one more which is a micro USB or a mini USB, or something else, right? So this kind of a standardizations can only be done by specifications. Okay. The point that I'm trying to tell you is that in AI, this is an upcoming field, and you don't really find these kind of standards. Okay. So that is the point I want to make. That's the limited point which I want to make, that we don't have something like this. Okay. You can go to the next slide here. Okay. Yeah. Next, please. Yeah. So here, if you see, right, there are all this. If you look at AI, I talked about three things in the beginning, right? So there is something called as on-device, there is something called as edge, then there is cloud. So in each one of them, we have different systems that need to be built. So there are different ecosystems that need to be built. All of them have different kind of requirements and capabilities. Okay. So if you look at on-device, right? So on-device, the privacy is most important, the latency is most important. But then if you look at cloud, what is important is that it has to be catering to everybody, okay, any application. So diversity is the most important. And of course, the cost has to be very low at that end. And it has to be really reliable and scalable. So those are there at the cloud intelligence, right? So that way, they need an ecosystem of their own for each of these intelligences, okay? So, but then that is something that we don't really find in the complete AI world. All right? So let's go to the next slide, okay? And if you look at the summary, right, AI has a lot of scope, okay? That's what you keep hearing. Why? It's because of this reason. It's because of this reason that AI doesn't have anything which is a ecosystem which is like smartphones. It will take almost a decade or maybe even more to get there. That is where it's important for us to just catch on at this time and then see what are the developments that are happening in the AI ecosystem. If you are following what is happening now, you will be a part of this revolution which we are going to see for AI. If you don't start following now, it will already come to some stage in the next decade, and then you already pass that window. That's why so much of importance is given. That's why we have this seminar today, which talks about AI. And of course, when it comes to AI, the security is also very, very important. We are talking about security also today. So that is the context about today's conference. And then you can see that that's mainly because of the scope that AI has and the current position of AI itself. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay. So as I told you in the beginning, I'll now talk about a VLSI example. Next slide. Yeah. So here, what I'm trying to do is, this AI is not something new at all. Okay. So there are these two books that you can see here. Okay. And in the left-hand side, there's a book which says like it is the impact of VLSI on artificial intelligence. So basically, how VLSI can impact artificial intelligence. You can see when it was written in 1983. Okay, so similarly, an artificial intelligence approach to VLSI design itself. How in VLSI design you can use artificial intelligence. That's the other way around, right? So that also was there in the 1900s itself, okay? So before 2000. So both of them, if you really look at, right, it is not that it is not known to anybody. It is known for a long time, but only now we have the technology to achieve it. Now, what is the most difficult thing there is this high performance computing that we talk about, right? It requires terabits and terabits of operations per second, TOPS we call it, right? And since that was not there, even though the field was very well known, we had understood the brain system to a certain extent, and then we had all the neural networks classes that were happening in the 80s, 90s, we still did not have anything that came out, okay? Because the technology was not allowing. So now we'll see what is possible, and that we'll see through an example, okay? Yeah, next slide, please, yeah. So here, this CMOT.ai is a company based out of Bangalore, okay? So this is a startup based out of Bangalore, and they have actually built a chip. It's an MLAI chip. It's not that, it's happening somewhere in Silicon Valley, US, right? It's happening right here in Karnataka. And they have built this chip, and that targets your computer vision marketing. And it's it's applicable for drones, for robotics, autonomous vehicles, and healthcare. And if you see what is there inside, right? So you can see that it is having many, many components. Now, you may not know any of this, but then just remember that there is, you learn in your 7-layer OSI, all these network layers, physical layer, data link layers, right? So like that, based on that, you have Ethernet, which is strictly based on the 7-layer OSI, PCI, which is a standard which is used to really communicate between computers, and then it uses some concept of the 7-layer OS. But then there are very, very different things which are there, like something called SPI, something called the GPIO. They are all there. Of course, the major components that are there are your application process and your RAMs, and all the network on chip, virtual memory. This is what is there. Of course, if you look at how it is built, okay, so can you, yeah, go ahead, yeah. So, so one more. Okay, so if you look at each one of them, right, you can see that each one of them is very, very different. So computer vision processor, there's a learning accelerator which is working at 60 TOPS. Okay, next we'll see that, okay. Yeah, so if you see here, right, the hardware is very heterogeneous, okay, and it's very powerful, and it's for heterogeneous computing, and then there you really require a lot of boot and security. So that is also there as one of these parts, okay. Yeah, next slide please. Yeah. So so these are all the different components that have been blown up. Can keep going actually, right? So now the targeted applications for this, I'm not getting into the details, you can see that they are mainly for image processing. Okay, next slide. Okay, so when you start building these things, right, it is quite complex. How do you really handle this complexity, right? So that's what I'll talk about here. What happens is, if the VLSI industry has a lot of these building blocks, they are called as intellectual property. They are called as IP, but then actually they are just some building blocks that are sitting inside these HPC platforms, okay? So we'll go to the next slide to look at what are these building blocks. Okay, so yeah, we can skip this slide. we can go to the next slide, it's fine, yeah. So these are the examples. So you take any system which has AI, right? All the three things, okay? It will have a huge amount of CPU cluster, it will have a huge amount of GPU cluster. Then there are something called as this network processing units, the AI accelerator. So then embedded process. So these are the four compute intensive elements that go inside the AI. So they are all different. CPU is different than GPU, and then GPU is different from NPU. They are all very, very specialized components, and then you need a lot of specialized expertise to build them. So you have experts in each field who are going to build these things, okay? So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to the CPU. So that is one market, which is the CPU. Then you have the others, like, the memories, the GPIOs, and sensors. So they're all one part of it. Then the other one which are in green, there are security IPs. Then the basic peripherals like the I2C and UART. Okay, they are all the serial communications that are there. And you have the bus fabrics which are sitting inside your process. So these are another set of components. Then there are a lot of interface IPs. Okay, so these interface IPs are the ones which really are going to bring commonality when you develop different things and then match each other. Okay, so that's why the interface is very, very important. So the example of that, I already gave you the PCI and the Ethernet. So those are the interfaces that are there. And you also have die-to-die interfaces. It's called as UCIe. So what is happening now, why AI is possible, is because on one wafer, you'll not have just one die, you'll have multiple dies also that are possible. Okay, so this is called as 3D IC also. So a lot of chiplets would be present on one single chip that comes out. Okay, so these require some kind of interfaces to talk to each other. They are called as die-to-die interfaces. So these are all the things that are the components of SoC targeted for AI. Okay, next slide. So here, if you look at this, right, this is how you can really kind of segregate processor IP, then the interface IP, then you have this foundation IP with the memories and GPIOs and all the others. Okay, it's a really big market. Okay, 10 years back, this market was not even kind of 1 billion, and we are expecting that this year it is something like 7 billion. So we can see like almost 7 times it has grown in the last 10 years, and then this is all because of a lot of improvements that are happening. Okay, yeah, next slide. Yeah. So if you see, there are a lot of examples that are given here. For cloud AI accelerator, you have different kind of IPs. For edge, you have different kind of IPs. You go to the next slide, I'll give you a couple of more examples where for on-device, you have different IPs, and edge, you have different IPs. Okay? So long story short, if you see, right, all the AI VLSI chips, they are possible only because these building blocks are there, which are ready-made, which are used by different VLSI companies, and they bring out the AI chips. All right, next slide, please. Yeah. So here, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So here, I talk about the next one. This is the summary of role on IPs in AI SoCs. You can see that it is growing at a very, very big rate, and Synopsys is capable of addressing all of them. Okay. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. Okay. So here, this section I'm going to skip. It really talks about how VLSI industry is providing these solutions using AI. Okay. So it is very simple. AI actually was used in VLSI industry much before anybody else adopted. In Synopsys, we were using AI right from 2014-15. So just because we were using that, we get a lot of these AI platforms which are there in the next few tiles. Okay, so you can see that there are AI-based EDA tools, and then if you keep on going, you know, I talk about different things like for design we have something, for verification space, test space, manufacturing. Okay, so the next few slides talk about it. You can skip those slides. You can keep going ahead. Yeah, we can skip these. So these are all talking about different optimizations that are possible. Yeah, one more. Well, a couple of more actually. So you have all the AI tools that are used to make the quality of results more. You will get lesser power, more performance, a lesser area using all this. Yeah, next slide please. Okay. Yeah, next actually. Yeah. So this is all about how AI is used in VLSI tools. Okay. All right. Yeah, keep going. Okay. So we'll go to the next section straight away. Until then, you can keep going. All right. So yeah, next one. Yeah. So here, if you see, right, you have heard about NVIDIA now, which has all these GPUs, and you can see that the founder and CEO of NVIDIA itself says, like, you know, the Synopsys EDA tool suite is what we used to actually build all their GPUs. Okay, that's what this slide talks about. Next slide, yeah. Okay, so these are the closing thoughts. If you can go to the next slide, there is something called as this Gartner hype cycle. Okay, so it has these 5 phases, and in the very first phase, you will have a lot of hype. So we are there in next. Next. You can have one more click. So this is the technology trigger that we have just started, and then we are seeing that it is already started, and then it is going to the next level, which is the first peak. One more. Okay. Yeah. So here we are at the peak of this inflated expectation. We are thinking that AI can do a lot of things. Okay. So that's where we are right now. But then that's not going to stay for a lot of time. Okay. You can put the next one. So there is going to be a trough of disillusionment, okay, where you'll see that, okay, all this hype will go away, and then we'll see some kind of a, you know, a cool down that happens in AI, okay, and then really we'll see that, oh, this AI can do a lot of other things, and then we'll go up, and then we can see in the next, next click please. After this trough of illusion, there'll be some kind of enlightenment, we would call, okay, and then once we have this enlightenment, we'll find out that there are so many applications where we can use AI, and then it will settle down. That is the 5th one. Okay, the next one. Yeah, that's called as the plateau of productivity. So this is what is going to be the future of AI, where you can see that we are already in this peak of inflated expectations. We'll go down, and a lot of panic would be there, but then we'll realize that there is a lot of scope. It will still go up, and then it's going to stabilize. Okay. So the next couple of slides also talk about the same thing. You can look at the Wikipedia and see what is this Gartner hype, and then you can get more details about that if you're interested. Okay. Yeah, please go ahead. Okay, so this is the last slide that I want to leave you with. Now, all the type of AI that is there is called as narrow AI, okay, where the model that is used in these neural networks, it's based on brain, right? It is of the 1990s. But the understanding of the brain itself has changed from 1990s. And you can look at this, and then if you can write down this and then read this, it's called as 1,000 Brains, a new theory of intelligence from Jeff Hawkins. You will understand that the brain is very different than what we really thought 30 years ago. Based on this, in the next 25 years, the AI is going to change very, very different than what it is today. And then come 2050, okay, when all you guys would be in your 50s, okay, you can really see that you would have built an AI which is so much different than what we are talking in this seminar today, okay. So be prepared for that, be flexible, learn everything that you can, and learn everything that you can in this seminar, which will be useful for the next 25 years. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we can close now. references.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the insights of VLSI in AI. A very warm good morning to one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, delegates, participants, and media. I, Suprita Patel TP, absolutely delighted and honored to be the master of ceremony for today's inaugural function of ICDSNS 2024, the International Conference on Data Science and Network Security, hosted by the Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur, and technically co-sponsored by IEEE Bangalore section. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur, is the initiative of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe. The college is affiliated to Vishveshwaraya Technological University, Belagavi, recognized by All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE, New Delhi. It's a mark of our undying tradition to invoke the Almighty at the beginning of an important event. I'd like to call upon Enija and Chaitrayam to render the invocation song.
आदिपूजितने गौरी गणपा आद्यन्तरहितने गौरी गणपा आदिपूजितने गौरी गणपा आद्यन्तरहितने गौरी गणपा पादಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಿಸುವೆವು ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ಮೋದದಿ ಸಲಹೋ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ 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 ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ 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 ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ವಿದ್ಯಾಪ್ರದಾಯಕ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ವಿಘ್ನ ವಿನಾಶಕ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ವಿದ್ಯಾಪ್ರದಾಯಕ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ವಿಘ್ನ ವಿನಾಶಕ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ವಿಶ್ವವಂದಿತನೇ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ಮೂಷಿಕ ವಾಹನನೇ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ 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 ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ 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 ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ನಿಜ ಭಕ್ತ ಪಾಲಕ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದಾತ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ನಿಜ ಭಕ್ತ ಪಾಲಕ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ಕೀರ್ತಿ ಪ್ರದಾತ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ವಿಜಯ ಪ್ರದಾಯಕ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ ಗುರುದಾಸ ಪಾಲಕ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ 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 ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ 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 ಗೌರಿ ಗಣಪ.
Thank you, Unija and Chaitra, for the blissful rendition. Welcoming is an art and it sprouts from heart. To express it at this juncture, may I take the pleasure of inviting our beloved principal, Dr. G.D. Gurmurthy sir, to deliver the welcome address.
Very good morning to all. I am privileged to have a pleasant talk of welcoming our distinguished and honorable guests to this inaugural function of the second series International Conference on Data Science and Network Analysis, abbreviated as ICDSNS 2024. So this is the second series of the National Conference in association with the International the IEEE. So we are hosting this one since the last 2 years. So this is in a very auspicious and very important day for the corporation of technology because we are hosting such a prestigious conference. On behalf of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe and Corporation of Technology, I warmly and respectfully welcome all the guests of today's function. I am indeed very grateful to them for accepting our invitation and gracing this occasion. Today, our chief guest of today's function, Dr. Alessandro Vizzari from the University of Rome Tor Vergata from Rome, Italy. He is participating in this conference as the chief guest of today's function. I warmly welcome Dr. Alessandro Vizzari. Welcome you, sir. I feel myself honored in offering my warm welcome to Dr. Sudan from the IAS professor in IISc, Bengaluru, and I extend my heartfelt warmest welcome to Dr. Sudan and Mojihai. Welcome you, sir. On behalf of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe and Corporation of Technology, I heartily welcome Sri Chandrasekhar BU, the senior architect from Synopsys Incorporation, Bengaluru. I heartily welcome you, sir, for this inaugural function. I extend my welcome with the loving hearts to Dr. Parameshwachari, the co-chair IEEE Bengaluru section, and the professor at NMIT Bengaluru. I heartily welcome Professor Parameshwachari to this function. I am very much delighted and pleased to welcome our respected President of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe and the President of today's IEEE conference, Sri P.K. Rudrappa sir. Your presence on this occasion is very pleasant and your gracious presence is very well required for us, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I also extend my thanks. I feel honored in expressing my heartfelt welcome to our members of our Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, Vice President of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, Sri Bhagapalli Natarajan sir, Sri Basuraj sir, and Sri Deepak sir and Sri Umesh sir in their absentia. They will be participating in this conference later on. And I extend my heartfelt welcome to Sri G.S. Umashankar sir, the Secretary of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe. I welcome you, sir. And I extend my heartfelt welcome to Sri T.U. Jagdishmurthy sir, the Secretary of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe. Welcome you, sir. I welcome Sri T.S. Shivaprasad sir, the Treasurer of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, who is for his wholehearted support for his conduction of this conference. I welcome you, sir, for this inaugural function. I express my heartfelt welcome to Sri Suresh and team from the TIE Bengaluru for their cooperation and coordination in conducting this international conference. Also, I express my heartfelt welcome to the principals of our sister institutions, and I also extend my warm welcome to Dr. Ravi Prakash, the professor head of AML department, who is the organizing chair of ISDNS 2024. I extend my welcome you Dr. Ravi Prakash, sir. I extend my heartily welcome to Dr. Maitri C., Professor and Head of CS Department, for your gracious presence and your coordination and cooperation in conducting this conference. I extend my heartfelt welcome to press and media persons. So I welcome all the press and media persons for this second international conference, ICDSNS. I welcome all the HODs of all the departments and the different coordinators of with their various activities, and all the teaching and non-teaching staff, and my dear students also. More than that, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all the resource persons, all the participants who have been contributed the research articles to this ICDSNS 2024 second series. So their cooperation and their contribution in terms of research articles is very well required for the success of this conference. We have received a handful of the articles for this conference. I welcome everyone to participate in this one. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your earnest address. On this occasion, it's my profound gratitude to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. G.D. Gurmurthy, sir, to the ICDSNS 2024. I welcome you, sir. Now, let's proceed with the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, symbolizing the dispelling of darkness and the onset of knowledge and wisdom. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp and symbolically inaugurate the program. Thank you all. Henry Ford says, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is a progress, working together is success. It was indeed this mantra of working together that has brought us where we are today. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. It gives me an immense pleasure to call upon Dr. Ravi Prakash ML, Professor and at Department of Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, and also the Organizing Chair of ICDSNS 2024, who is the backbone in organizing this conference, to speak few words about the journey of ICDSNS 2024.
A very good morning to one and all. It's indeed a special privilege for Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur, to host second edition of International Conference on Data Science and Network Security, ICDSNS 2024, in association with IEEE Bangalore section. I am honored and feel privileged to stand before you today to provide a brief overview of the IEEE International Conference on Data Science and Network Security, which is now in its second series. The journey of ICDNS began in 2022 with commitment and enthusiasm, and it is a resounding success of hosting international distinguished speakers from Spain and South Korea, along with our national experts from prestigious institutions from NAL and IIT. In 2023, the conference drew participants from around the globe, setting a solid foundation for the series with over 1,800 submissions pouring in from diverse concerns of the world in its first series. This was a testament to the relevance and impact of ICDNS in the global research community. I wish to bring to your kind attention that all the accepted papers from the first edition were published in IEEE Digital Explorer and indexed by major databases like Scopus and CPCI Web of Science, a group of Clarity Analytics. Building on this momentum, here we are in 2024 to witness the second series of ICDSNS. Once again, the conference proved to be a very popular and has attracted a remarkable 1,500 plus submissions, showcasing a sustained enthusiasm and engagement from the global research community. We have received submissions from Australia, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Indonesia, Iraq, USA, Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, and from premier Indian institutions like NIT and IIT. ICDNS 2024 also proved to be a popular among the industrial communities and received papers from reputable companies too, such as Amazon, Intel, Adobe, etc. The conference program committee had a very challenging task of choosing high-quality submissions. After the standard IEEE review process through rigorous double-blind review and recommendation of the training technical program committee, 280 high-quality scholarly submissions were selected for inclusion in the conference proceedings. We are also privileged to have distinguished speakers from Italy, continuing the tradition of bringing world-class expertise to our platform, alongside speakers from IISc Bengaluru and also from an industry, Synopsys Bengaluru. As we reflect on the history of ICDSNS, it is evident that the conference has evolved into a dynamic forum for cutting-edge research and collaboration. The diversity of speakers and the increasing number of submissions affirm the conference's commitment to fostering knowledge exchange and advancing frontiers of data science and network security. I extend my gratitude to all the participants, speakers, and especially to the management of Kalpataru Vidya Samasthe, Tiptur, who has contributed to the success of ICDSNS thus far. Let us not only celebrate the achievements of the past, but also look forward to the new insights, collaborations, and breakthroughs that the third series of ICDNS is poised to bring. Thank you for being a part of this incredible journey, and I am excited to witness the intellectual vibrancy over the next few days. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful overview. Education in today's world is not just teaching and learning within the four walls of the classroom. It is about creating awareness. And awareness is not only for students, it is also for teachers and public too. Our institution has realized the need to create awareness about itself among the students, and we are doing our best to meet the requirement. As a new step in this direction, we have come up with organizing ICDSNS 2024 conference in our institution. May I request the distinguished dignitaries on the dais to release the proceedings of today's conference to the gathering. Thank you all. The greatest education in the world is watching the masters at work. It is a matter of pride to have Dr. Alessandro Vizzari Icali as our chief guest for today's inaugural function. So I request Dr. Maitri C., Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, KIT Tiptur, to introduce our chief guest to the gathering.
A very good morning to one and all assembled here. On behalf of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, KIT and ICDSNS 2024, it's my earnest pleasure to introduce one of our chief guests, Dr. Alessandro Vizzari, to the gathering here. Dr. Alessandro Vizzari received the master's degree in electronics engineer from the University of Bologna, PhD in telecommunication engineering and microelectronics from the University of Rome, Tor Vergata, and a post laureum diploma from the Superior Institute of Communication. He is a researcher in the telecommunication at the University of Rome, Tor Vergata. He worked previously as project manager for the Radio Labs Consortium and a researcher at the University of G. Marconi. He also worked as a consultant engineer and a senior manager for vendor, manufacturing, and consultancy companies operating in the ICT market, in particularly the wireless networks, broadcast networks, digital transmission, multimedia system, project management. He has been the senior project manager of several European or international projects on ICT. He was the professional and career activity coordinator at the IEEE Italy section. His research interests include wireless and broadcast networks, radio network planning, QoS or QoE, interoperability, 5G, 6G, non-terrestrial networks, goal-oriented semantic networks, blockchain-based platforms and applications, regulation and standardization. He is a board member of the Italian Association of Telecommunication Engineers, AICT, and a member of the Order of Engineers in Rome. So this is just a brief introduction about Sir, and the list of achievements is enormous in the field of education and research. Thank you, one and all.
Now I request Dr. Alessandro Visari, sir, to address the gathering.
Namaskara Tiptur. I am very honored and pleased to be here. I have I am very pleased to be here to take participation to this second IEEE International Conference on Data Science and Network Security. I have to thank you all the organization of the committee, in particular Mr. Suresh and my friend Parameshwari for supporting me from obtaining the visa to be here, also for the accommodation. I have to thank you, the principal of KIT, Mr. Guru Murthy, and Professor Ravi Praska for the beautiful welcome here in your institution. I think that the conference like this, the conference is very, very important, is very interesting from one end, because we have several topics, several technological topics to be discussed, to be exchanged, but also it is important for our society of the next year, because I am very pleased to see here several young engineers, young students, and so on. I think that this conference is the best place to where new idea can be exchanged, new topic research can be exchanged, new knowledge can be exchanged, thanks to the presence of eminent scientists, engineers, professionals, people coming from industry, professors, and so on, worldwide. So I have to thank you for the invitation. I have to thank you, the KIT institution, my friends, and I'd like to address my best wishes to all people involved in this conference, from the organized committee, young people, students, professionals, and so on. Best wishes for a successful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We look forward for your keynote session. Now, I would like to call upon Professor Shilpa S., Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, KIT Tiptur, to introduce our special guest of honor, Dr. Sudhan Majji, IISc, Bangalore, India, to the gathering here.
A very warm good morning to one and all assembled here. It's my earnest privilege to introduce you one of our chief guests, Dr. Sudhan Majji sir, to the gathering here. Dr. Sudhan Majji sir received the MTech degree in Computer Science and Data Processing from Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Kharagpur, India in 2004, and the PhD degree from Nanyang Technological University, Singapore in 2008. He has postdoctoral experience with the University of Michigan, Dearborn, USA, the Institute of Electronics and Telecommunication, Rennes, France, and Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. He was an assistant professor jointly with Mathematics and Electrical Engineering Department at IIT Patna from 2013 to 2018. He was also an associate professor from July 2018 to August 2021. Currently, he is an associate professor in the Electrical Communication Engineering at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He is fellow of Sir Visvesvaraya Young Faculty Research. He is an editor of IEEE Transactions on Vehicular Technology Journal, IEEE Wireless Communication Letters. He has served as an editorship of IEEE Communication Letters and an associate editor of Circuit System and Signal Processing, Springer. His research interest includes signal processing for wireless communication, which includes blind synchronization and parameter estimation, modulation classification, cooperative communications, physical layer security, cognitive radio, orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, OFDM, single carrier frequency division multiple access, SCFDMA, multiple input, multiple output OFDM, non-orthogonal multiple access, MM-wave, IRS, and sequence design. This is thus the brief introduction about Sir, and list of achievements is enormous in the field of education and research. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Shilpa ma'am. Now I request to Dr. Sudan Majisu to address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, valued participants, and chief guest, guest of honors, President Sri P.K. Tiptur, Principal G.D. Gorumurthy, Organizing Chair Ravi Prakash ML, and Publication Chair Dr. Maitri C., and all other organizing chairs and TIE. Thanks for invitation, for this invitation. It is a great pleasure and honor to be here as a keynote speaker at Data Science and Network Security, organized by Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur. The data science has revolutionized the way we understand and interact with the world, from personalized recommendation on streaming service to predictive analytics in healthcare, agriculture, power domain, communications in many areas. But beyond its commercial applications, data science is beacon of innovation that drive scientific discovery, enhance decision making, and improves our overall quality of life. Parallel to growth of data science, the field of network security has become increasingly vital as our reliance on digital network intensifies, so does the threat landscape. Cyber attack, data branches, and privacy violation are not just technical challenges, they are social concern that demand robust and adaptive security solution. So network security is the guardian of our digital trust and the protector of our information asset. So in this way, the conference carries all these things, important parameters. The synergy between data science and network security is not just coincidence, it is a necessity. Data science provides the analytical tools and methodology to process and interpret vast amount of security related data, and machine learning algorithm came to this picture to combine both data science and network security. So nowadays AI and ML used almost every field of communication, data science, networking. So this is one of the major aspects of 6G technology, which is my keynote speech. I will deliver later. So, but despite the promising convergence, several challenges remains there. The complexity of integrating data science with network security demand interdisciplinary collaboration, and that shared vision. However, these challenges present opportunities. So as a education and researcher, we have a pivotal role to play in this journey. We must equip the next generation with knowledge and skill to navigate this complex landscape. So thank you for your attention, and I look forward to the insightful discussion and innovative ideas that will emerge from this conference. Together, we can chart a future where data, science, and network security work hand in hand to create a safer, smarter, and more connected world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your thought-provoking, sir. A dream is not that which you see while sleeping. It's something that does not let you sleep. We are very fortunate to have our another distinguished guest, Mr. Chandrasekhar B.U., Senior Architect, Synopsys Incorporation, Bengaluru. Hence, I request Professor Vidya H.A., Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to introduce the chief guest to the august gathering here.
A very warm good morning to all assembled here. It's my privilege to introduce one of our chief guests, Mr. Chandrasekhar B.U., to the gathering. Mr. Chandrasekhar B.U. completed his BE in Electronics from RV College in 1991 and obtained his Master of Engineering from EC Department, IISc, in 1993. He started his career in 1993 at Center for Development of Telematics in a team that developed the largest indigenous telephone exchange in India. He was invited by ICTP, Trieste, Italy in 1997 as a part of UNESCO program to impart telecom R&D development skills to researchers from developing countries. He represented India in 1998 as a telecom delegate to Canada to discuss mutually beneficial technologies for the two countries. Since 2000, he has been working in various roles at Synopsys, which is a world leader in semiconductor, EDA and IP space. He worked in telecom, wireless and several other domains before he transitioned as a front-end interface IP design professional. He is currently a senior architect in USB R&D team, which develops USB controllers. He is highly likely that your cell phone contains the USB design from his team. As a member of USB IF, he has participated in the development of many USB standards. He has published technical papers in international journals and holds 2 US patents. As a part of Synopsys Academic and Research Alliance program, he interacts with faculties and students at several universities. He has served as a member of Board of Studies in few colleges. He is closely associated with several NGOs where he interacts with children and helps them develop scientific temperament as a part of Synopsys for Good CSR initiative. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Mr. Chandrasekhar B.U. sir to address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you, the management of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, to invite me here to this prestigious conference. I am very delighted to be here, and I see a lot of enthusiasm here and a lot of young crowd here. I also saw that there are almost 200 papers that are presented, okay, and that's a real good achievement. I hope that you all learn something from here before you go and then use it in your life. Okay, so if you look at the whole VLSI field, from 1950s it all started with the transistor, right? And then you saw that there were very small integrated circuits which were coming with all the gates, and then the integration kept on developing where we had a large-scale integration. Then we started to have processors, then the other thing that came into the world was the field programmable gate array, so it became flexible. The whole microprocessor architecture itself started to come in the 1980s. Then if you see the VLSI really took form as something which is, it came out from its infancy to the adult stage, where it was developing SOCs. And those SOCs are the ones who were responsible for giving us the internet and also the complete communication network that we have, and all of us carry the mobiles, not just here, even in our villages, right? Now, while doing so, what's really happened is there is a lot of consolidation and then information that is available, which is distributed all over these networks that we interact with every day, right? And the next step is, how do we use that? So in the last 10 years, what's really happened in the VLSI field, if you see, is that the Moore's law is still alive, and then we call it a SysMoore, where the complexity is increasing at the system side of things, and then we are coming to see chips that are having chiplets and multiple dies on the same chip. Now, with all this technology, it's seen that there can be a large boom in data processing, because earlier it was not possible to have an architecture where you have all these different computing elements in a manner which can do distributed computing as well as local processing in a very efficient manner, doing a lot of TOPS, as we call it, like, you know, the terabit operations per second. So with this being the cutoff, we are looking at data sciences and security being the enabler for artificial intelligence. Okay, and the next couple of decades is going to be really, exciting. And I wish that I was a 20-year-old like you, and then see the next 30, 40 years how it's going to develop. You are at this stage right now, and I'm sure that you are going to learn a lot more of the data sciences and security that you are going to learn here in the next few decades of your career. So take this opportunity to learn, and then keep learning, and don't have boundaries. You know, you are no longer computer science engineers. It's going to be like you need to know everything about electronics or mechanical, so there are no boundaries that are going to be there in the next 5-10 years. Everything will have a digital twin, and you'll have to work on those things. The best example is automotive, okay? All the automotive systems have a digital twin, right? So things like that are going to happen, and then make sure that you are equipped for that. So this is a really the first time I'm seeing something like this happening outside the Silicon capital of India, which is Bangalore, and in Karnataka. I'm proud that it is happening in Tiptur, and also for the second year. So I really appreciate the management here to take this effort. It's not easy to organize such a big conference here, and then that has come to you, and it's up to you to make use of that. Okay. Thank you again for inviting me. Okay. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. It was surely a value-added address. Moving ahead with today's agenda, we are honored by the presence of distinguished and dynamic person from IEEE Bangalore section, Dr. Paramesh Achari, B.D. sir. Hence, I request Professor Kavita M.G., Assistant Professor, Department of CSC, KIT Tiptur, to introduce our chief guest.
A warm good morning to all assembled here. It's my privilege to introduce one of our chief guests, Dr. Paramesh Achari, BD, to the gathering. Dr. Paramesh Achari is currently working as a professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Nitte Meenakshi Institute of Technology, Bangalore, affiliated by VTU. He is also the visiting professor for University of Rome Tor Vergata, Italy. He is currently serving as the Student Activity Committee Chair, IEEE Bangalore section. He is listed in the world's top 2% scientists by Stanford University, USA, for his research works. He has published over 150 plus articles in SCI, Scopus, and other index journals, and also in several international conferences. He is the associate editor for Expert System, VLSI, International Journal of Computational Intelligence System, Springer, Wireless Communication and Mobile Computing, Hindawai, and International Journal of Reconfigurable and Embedded System, IEEE. Is also serving as editorial board member, academic editor, and reviewer for the guest editor for Springer, Elsevier, and IEEE journals. Under his guidance, IEEE NMIT SB has received rupees 20 lakh funding from IEEE AESS Society. This is just a brief introduction of him, and his list of achievements is enormous in the field of education and research. It's our pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavita. Now I request Dr. Parmesh Achari, sir, to speak a few words.
Very good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning. So, respected dignitaries on the dais, my dear students, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you for the second IEEE International Conference on Data Science and Network Security, organized by Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur, in association with the IEEE Bangalore section. Today, I am standing before you as the guest of honor for this prestigious international conference. It fills me with immense pleasure and profound nostalgia as a former student and former faculty of this remarkable institution. I am delighted to be here in this event. Actually, I am a student of this college, Kalpataru Institute of Technology, for the year 1999 to 2003 passed out. In the year 2003, I passed out. So exactly 20 years back, I was there. So I am here today. So I am very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here on this occasion. Today I'm representing the IEEE Bangalore section. So IEEE Bangalore section is the professional body under IEEE. Today they are organizing the IEEE conference. So the Technical Institute for Engineers, they are the organizing partner for this conference. So they are supporting this conference. Actually, last 2 years back, I was inaugurated the IEEE student branch in Kalpataru Institute of Technology. So they are organizing second time. The first time also I was presented in this conference. Actually, there are a lot of benefits in IEEE. I request all of you to utilize the opportunities in IEEE. Okay. So especially the IEEE, they are having, they can participate in IEEE exciting contests like IEEE Extreme, IEEE Hackathon. You can also participate in IEEE scholarships. You can go for IEEE scholarship. Even IEEE scholarships will be provided from the IEEE Bangalore section, also from IEEE USA. Okay. So IEEE headquarters, generally, they are also providing the funds to IEEE student branches every year. So there are two funds available in the IEEE, one from the IEEE headquarters and also from the IEEE Bangalore section side. Okay. So I request other departments, see, this is the student branch for the college. Okay. Other department can also, even EC department can start the IEEE Communication Society, IEEE Signal Processing Society. Okay. Each societies, there are 39 technical societies in IEEE. There are 39 technical societies in IEEE. You have to utilize, you can establish the different society chapters in this college. So each department can start the different chapters. Each chapters can have the separate funds available to establish the, to grow with the chapters. Okay. So today with this, for organizing this IEEE conference in KIT, so we are having international recognitions with international guest is today with us from Tor Virgata. So where I was visited recently, the last month I was in Italy, so the same university he was today with us. Professor Alessandro Vizzari today with us. Through IEEE, we can also connect the many people in IEEE, and you can also participate in the conferences, events organized by IEEE Bangalore section and the IEEE headquarters. So from NMIT recently, the 30 students participate in IEEE Space Conference. So actually the Space Conference is the Space, Aerospace and Defense Conference organized by the IEEE Aerospace and Electronic Systems Society. So where we got the fund from IEEE ASS. Okay. IEEE ASS, the Aerospace Electronic Systems Society, I think the electronics department can establish this chapter. So there is a lot of funding opportunities from IEEE. You have to explore, all students and faculty members here, we have to explore the opportunities of IEEE and they have to utilize the opportunities at the maximum level. So the IEEE branch counselor, I think you know. You know IEEE? Do you know IEEE? Huh? Do you know IEEE? ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ Yes, can you please tell me about IEEE just expansion? The expansion of IEEE. ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಚ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ The IEEE is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers Association. Okay, IEEE ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಸಲ IEEE ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ but many of them don't know about IEEE. Okay, IEEE, just the abbreviation of IEEE is the Institute of Electronics and Electrical Engineers Association. Okay, so there are 450,000 members across 160 countries. Even in IEEE Bangalore section also, we have 15,000 members there, IEEE members are there. Okay, so out of 15,000 members, 11,000 members are student members. Okay, the professional members like us, so those who are in academia or industry, only 4,000 members. So almost all IEEE Bangalore section is covered by the students. Actually, IEEE Bangalore section is organizing student-centric programs. So I request all of you to attend I request the branch counselor, Dr. Ravi Prakash and principal sir, to encourage the students to attend the IEEE events organized by the IEEE Bangalore section. So this month, the coming month, in the month of August also, we are planning one event, the Walk with IEEE Fellow at the Indian Institute of Science. So as our professor is here, Dr. Sudan Maji, IEEE Indian Institute of Science we are organizing. I request you to participate on 4th August, Sunday. Okay, I request you to participate the Walk with IEEE Fellow at IASC Bangalore. And coming to this conference, so the last year also the conference organized, well organized, the papers accepted and presented in the conference last year. It is already published in IEEE Explore and also it indexed in Scopus. So this year also, as Ravi Prakash already mentioned, so this year also they have received 1,500 plus papers. So this getting 1,500 papers, that rural college is very difficult. The organizing committee and the organizing partner TIE, they have put lot of efforts to get the papers, 1,500 papers. They have accepted only the 290 papers. So it is less than the 30% of the acceptance. So in the IEEE, we have to maintain the scrutiny on the standard level as per the standards. So we have to check the papers to maintain the quality of the paper as per the standards of IEEE. And also I am see that the variety of technical programs and invited talks. So we have the speakers from IASC and Synopsys and also from University of Tor Virgata. And the leadership, they have put lot of efforts to organize this conference. And finally, I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to my teacher, Dr. G.D. Gurumurthy sir, for nurturing and guiding me to this level. It is a testament to his mentorship that I stand before you today. Thank you, sir. Let us light a lamp of knowledge together. Let's share our knowledge and contribute a better world. Together we can make the difference. I once again thank everyone for joining this conference and making it a grand event. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your continuous support for organizing ICDSNS. We also must to have Dr. Lavinia Chiara, Department of Computer Science, University of Turin, Italy, and Dr. Kio, Deputy Dean, UCSI, University, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, with us for today's event. And unfortunately, they couldn't make their presence offline. They have shared their wishes, and we would like to play the video messages they have shared with us. And I extend my earnest welcome to Shri Bagepalli Natraj sir, Vice President, Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, Tiptur.
Good morning. I'm Lavinia Chiara Tagliabue, Associate Professor at the Department of Computer Science, University of Turin in Italy. I'm happy to send this video message for the IEEE conference. It's my pleasure to know that Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur, is organizing the second IEEE International Conference on Data Science and Network Security, ICDSNS 2024. ICDSNS 2024 will cover a wide range of topics in data science, network security, and related interdisciplinary subjects. This conference is set to provide an exceptional platform for delegates to present their work, gain exposure, and interact with experts for both national and international level across various research domains. Such interaction will undoubtedly foster the exchange of innovative ideas and collaborative opportunities. I extend my sincere gratitude to all the organizers, principal, and the management of Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur, for their unwavering support and dedication in organizing this exciting conference. I would also wish IEEE ICDSNS 2024 a great success and look forward to the significant contribution and advancement that will emerge from this esteemed event. Bye.
Informatics and Industry Management, UCSI Graduate Business School, UCSI University Malaysia. Today, academic research and development is impossible without sharing information and presenting results to other researchers or to the public. Therefore, I am convinced that the long-term goal of IEEE International Conference on Data Science and Network Security, organized by Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur, will become one of the most prominent conferences not only in India, but also become known to researchers worldwide. I believe the conference will be an invaluable experience, bringing together industry leaders and like-minded professionals. Throughout history, such conferences have served catalysts for progress, fostering dialogue, facilitating connections, and promoting transformative change. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the ICDSNS 2024 team for their work and wish them all the best. Furthermore, the conference is a specific forum that offers a large pool of potential collaborators. Dear participants, please engage in a meaningful discussion, share your expertise, and reach out to the people who share your passion and collaboration. Thank you.
We extend our thankfulness to the eminent personalities. Learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge. Knowledge makes you success. Now, it's time to welcome our pillar and leader who supports us constantly from Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, Shri G.S. Umashankar sir, Secretary, to address the gathering.
Good morning, the President, all the dignitaries, distinguished guests, invitees, respected speakers, and beloved participants. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you today at the second IEEE International Conference on Data Science and Network Security, ICDSNS 2024, hosted by our prestigious Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur. At Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, we have always been committed to fostering an environment of academic excellence, innovation, and collaboration. Today, as we gather here to explore the insight of data science and network security, I am wondered about the incredible progress we have made in this field and the potential they hold for shaping the future. ICDSNS 2024 is a witness to our collective dedication to advancing knowledge and fostering innovation in these crucial areas. This conference serves as a platform for researchers, practitioners, and industry experts to share their insights, present their research, and engage in meaningful discussions that will undoubtedly contribute to the advancement of data science and network security. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished guests, keynote speakers, and participants for the invaluable contributions. Your presence and participation elevate the quality of this conference and inspire us to strive for greater heights. Thank you all for being here, and I wish you a fruitful and engaging conference. Together, let us contribute for a brighter and more secure digital future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful words. It feels pleasure to invite our godfather and dynamic leader, Shri T.S. Shivprasad, sir, Treasurer, KVS Society, to address the gathering.
A very good morning to you all. Respected dignitaries on the dais, President of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, KIT Tiptur sir, and Chief Guest, Dr. Alessandro Vizzari, University of Rome, Mr. Chandrasekhar B.U., Senior Architect, Synopsis, Sudan Majhi, and Parmeshwar Chari, IEEE Bangalore Section, Principal, my colleagues in the Samsthe, respected faculty members, and my dear students. It gives me a great pleasure to be here on the second IEEE International Conference on Data Science and Network Security, conducted in association with IEEE Bangalore section, along with our Computer Science Department and AML departments. And really, it's a very eye-opener for all the students, as Mr. Parmeshwar was telling. You basically, students have to know that basically if you are to anything, you should be 100% to it. Since, as he was asking the abbreviation to spell out for IEEE, many are not aware of it. Really, it's very bad. As a student studying in a technical institution, you should be aware of everything. Because even a child or a person pursuing education ought to have a general knowledge. Even if they go through any newspapers, thus there will be written BBMP or something like that, UGD or something, then we will have that curiosity to know what that abbreviation is. Right from the childhood, we had that institution in our mind to know what it is. That attitude should be in yours. When we are being conducting this for the second year, and you students that doesn't know the meaning of the IEEE abbreviation, really, I don't deny that your ignorance are, but you don't have the instinct to know things. The instinct to know things and to fall upon it and to back it up and gain the knowledge is the most important for students. That is the most important thing, and a lot of facilities are going under this IEEE for the last, since last year. And I don't think many of you have availed those benefits. As I was telling, a lot of scholarships or everything has been dispersed from the IEEE. And I hope a lot of students from the urban colleges are taking those facilities. And I hope very, very less people from our college have gained that resource, to take that resource. So I sincerely advise students to fall back on the track. And you should see, because these are the large platforms for researchers, developers, end users, academia to come together under their own platform to explore the development in this data science and network. What is the just thing to conduct this type of conferences in a rural area? because people and you, the staff, even the faculty and even the students should adhere to some discipline in knowing things. Why are we making this? A lot of projects have been, will be discussed on this platform. Researchers, end users, industrialists, academia, people will all come under this platform to know things, to exchange, to explore, and to interact with national and international delegates through various domains, research domains. And such platforms will enhance your collaborative opportunities and instinct to develop your capabilities in this field. So I do earnestly, and regarding data science, I was discussing with Alexander Vizare, I just checked with him, but data science and network security can also be correlated with data science and cyber security. And he told, yes, it can be linked with, this can also be linked with cyber security, because a lot of cyber crimes are coming up in this country, not in this country, throughout the world. There are a lot of outlets wherein they will give you a lot of inputs into cyber crimes. A lot of cyber crimes have been happening in this country, and a lot of things you have to learn, and you should be aware of things for the modern world, changing world. So conferences like this will facilitate you to interact with the delegates, researchers, academia, users, and industry also. So such collaborative effort has been made from our many hats off to the Department of CSC and AIML in our this one, and all the faculty members for having conducted this conference for this, successfully conducted this conference for the second year. I hope this will continue and will be of more need to the students coming up in this rural area. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your inspiring words. Moving ahead, I request our Honorable Vice President, Shri Bhagyapalli Nataraj sir, to address the gathering.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿರುವ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಹಿರಿಯರಾದ ಶ್ರೀ PK ತಿಪ್ಪೇರುದ್ರಪ್ಪನವರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕರಿಸುತ್ತಾ, ಇಂದಿನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಪತರು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ICDSNS 2024ರ ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭವು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ರಾದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಆಲ್ಸೆಂಡ್ರೋ ವಿಜೆರಿ ಆಫ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ರೋಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸುದನ್ ಮಜಿ IISc ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರು ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಹಾಗೂ ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ್ ಸರ್ BU ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೈನ್ ಆಫೀಸಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೂಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟು, ನಮ್ಮ ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರಾಚಾರ್ಯರು, ಅವರು ಭಾಳ ಇದು ಎರಡನೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಭಾಳ ಖುಷಿಯಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮನ ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ 2 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮುಂದೇನೂ ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಡೆತಡೆ ಇಲ್ಲದಲೇ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮನ ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸದಾ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಸಲ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೋರ್ತಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಬೋಧಕೇತರ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲ್ರಿಗೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿ ಸದಸ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತ್ಯಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಪರೋಕ್ಷವಾಗಿ ಸಹಕಾರ ನೀಡಿದಂಥ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾನ್ಯರಿಗೆ ವಂದಿಸ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ 2 ಮಾತು ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಜೈ ಹಿಂದ್, ಜೈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮಾತು.
Thank you, sir. Kalpataru Institute of Technology Tiptur operates under the able guidance of Shri PK Tiptur sir, President of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe Tiptur. Sir, you hardly need any introduction. You have made all of us proud by your distinguished work in numerous capacities. May I now request Shri PK Tiptur sir to deliver the presidential remarks.
Good morning, speakers and dear participants. And welcome you to all second IEEE International data science and networks. ICDNS 2024 hoisted by Kalpataru Institute of Technology, Tiptur. ICDSNS 2024 provides a unique researchers, practitioners to share their insights, present their findings, explore new frontiers in security. ICDSNS 2024 is a series enlightened keynote address, technical panels discussion will not only enrich our knowledge but also inspire us to push the boundaries of innovation. Our esteemed guests and speakers being a wealth of knowledge and experience, I am confident that their contribution will significantly enhance the quality and impact of this conference. I extend my heartfelt wishes to each one of them for their valuable participation. Thank you all for being here and for your active participation. I am confident that ICDS 2024 will be a resounding success and that the discussions and insights we give here will pave the way for future innovations and breakthroughs. Wishing you all fruitful, engaging conference. Thanking you.
Thank you, sir. Let's mark the end of formal function with appreciation and gratitude to all those who made this event happen. Now, I sincerely request Professor Vinay Kumar VN, Assistant Professor, Department of AIML, KIT Tiptur, to propose the vote of thanks.
Hello everyone. A very good morning to all the dignitaries on and off the dais. It's my pleasure to present vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to thank IEEE Computer Society for this opportunity. My sincere thanks to Honorable President of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe and also the President of this function, Sri P.K. Tiptur sir. Thank you, sir. I thank the Honorable Chief Guest of this function, Dr. Alessandro Vizzari. Thank you, sir. Dr. Sudan Maji. Thank you, sir. Mr. Chandrasekhar BU. Thank you, sir. And Dr. Parmeshachari BD. Thank you, sir. I extend my thanks to Honorable Vice President of KVS, Sri Bhagyapalli Nataraj, sir. Thank you, sir. I thank the Honorable Secretaries of KVS, Sri G.S. Umashankar, sir. Thank you, sir. Sri T.U. Jagdish Murthy, sir. Thank you, sir. I thank our Honorable Treasurer of KVS, Sri T.S. Shivprasad, sir. Thank you, sir. I thank the backbone of today's event, Dr. G.D. Gurumurthy, sir, Principal, KIT Tiptur, for making this event a grand success. Thank you, sir. I extend our sincere gratitude to Dr. Ravi Prakash ML, Professor and Head, Department of AI and ML, and Organizing Chair of ICDSNS 2024 for his warm presence today. Thank you, sir. I thank Dr. Maitri C, Professor and Head, Department of CSE, for her presence today. Thank you, madam. I thank HODs and staff of all departments for their contribution in making this event success. Thank you all. It's my privilege to extend a heartfelt thanks to our wonderful Master of Ceremony, Professor Suprita Patel TP. Your role was pivotal in setting the tone for ICDSNS 2024. Thank you, madam. I thank the event coordinators who worked hard in making necessary arrangements for the smooth conduction of the event. Thank you all. My heartfelt thanks to press and media persons. Finally, I thank one and all who are directly or indirectly involved in the conduction of the event. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gratitude is the greatest and purest of all virtues. As a mark of our respect, we would like to felicitate our dignitaries for their relentless service. Now I request our dignitaries Dr. Alessandro Vizzari, sir, Dr. Sudan Maji, sir, Mr. Chandrasekhar BU, sir, Dr. Parmeshachari, sir, to accept the memento as a token of our respect and affection. This conference is a special event for all of us. The organizing team has put in a lot of efforts and passion for the success of the conference. The team's success is due to inspiring leaders. Now I request Shri P.K. Tiptur, President of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, to accept the memento as a token of our respect and gratitude. So I request the dignitaries on the dais to honor Shri P.K. Tiptur. Ahead, I request to Honorable Vice President of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, Shri Bagepalli Natras sir, to accept the memento as a token of gratitude. Now I request our Honorable Secretaries of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, Shri G.S. Umashankar sir, Shri T.U. Jagdish Murthy sir, to accept the memento as a token of gratitude. our Honorable Treasurer Sir of Kalpataru Vidya Samsthe, Shri T.S. Shivprasad Sir, to accept the memento as a token of gratitude. I request our beloved Principal Sir, Dr. G.D. Gurumurthy Sir, to accept the memento as a token of our gratitude. I request Professor Vinay Kumar VN, Assistant Professor, Department of AIML and Financial Chair of ICDSNS 2024 to accept the memento as a token of gratitude. I request Vinay Kumar VN Sir. I request Professor Shashidhara MS, Associate Professor, Department of CSC to come over the dais. I request Dr. Ravi Prakash Yammal Sir to accept that memento as a token of gratitude. Dr. Ravi Prakash Yammal, Organizing Chair of ICDSNS 2024. I request Dr. Maitri C, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, to accept the memento as a token of our gratitude. Thank you one and all. We'll have a keynote session immediately after this. You please just wait for a few minutes. Keynote sessions will be there immediately after this. You please wait. Students, be seated for 5 minutes. Be seated, please.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello.
I request Sudan Maji sir to deliver the talk.
So, I can understand that after the long inauguration, I think, is it okay? This is fine. It's very difficult to listen anything for more than 1 hour. There is a rule, most of the talk and most of the presentation we keep for 1 hour because of the attention, okay? I can understand that you want to leave, so that may be the reason I may skip my talk if you are not interested, but you can have a one-to-one interaction if you have any queries or any kind of questions regarding your study, regarding your job, regarding your futures, that, and if you want to continue some talk, it may be some kind of 10-20 minutes time, if you allow me to talk, because I came for that mainly. And inauguration is, for me, it's a kind of not main product, it is a kind of byproduct. But understanding the things, okay, so is it okay if I give another 10 or 20 minutes time to talk to you? If you are willing, otherwise I can skip. Okay, let me go through this some presentations quickly. You see, I have added the intelligent artificial intelligence, AI. You can see that everywhere AI is mandatory. Means I could say that it is essential nowadays to make your system intelligence. So whether it is a data science or communication in terms of 5G, 6G, and then security is always there, if you look about your personal security, data security, and nowadays, data is very important. Even if you do not give your pictures, nobody can identify you. But if they have your data, and this is a very important, right? So securing data is very, very important. And little bit background about the, can you please go to the slide, please? Yes. So the data science, I started in 2002. 2002, my main course was, I had taken MTech in data science. Then after 2004, I left this data science. I joined as a wireless communication guys, okay. And networking security also I studied little bit during my masters. But I thought it may not be much important at that time. And then I moved to wireless communication domain. And nowadays, again, I do data science. And not now, maybe 5 years back, I started doing some data science. Now I do not find any difference between the data science, artificial intelligence, network security, and 6G communications. Mainly I am 6G guys. Means I work on 5th generation wireless communication and 6th generation wireless communication. So I'll tell something about where this data science come, why this data science and network security is very, very important for wireless communications. Next slide, please. So I'll cover these 3 topics. That one is, what is this 1G? And what is 2G? Why we need 4G, 5G, 6G? And then still 5G is not rolled out, right? Still we are jumping to 6G, then we are telling that AI is required, data science is required, okay? And 6G applications, where the data science and network security is very, very important, okay? And if someone learns data science, okay, either from the college course or from YouTube course, if you have solid knowledge, you will not have any problem finding job. Because everywhere data, and then you have to apply this data properly, right? Automation way. So that actually added the value to the data science. Next slide, please. So I'll start this slide and I'll stop with these slides. So no need to worry about it. Just a little bit try to understand what is 1G. So 1G was that you have a mobile device. I mean, you would have mobile device and I am another mobile device. So their hardware is totally different. And they cannot support more number of users because there is no adaptation was there. So I am having some carrier, I can communicate to another users. He has having another hardware and he can communicate to. And this is a 1980s. So at that time, you can imagine at that time, hardly we could have a mobile device 5 or 6 in one college. Forget in such kind of colleges because I also started getting mobile device, I think 2003 or 2004. I do not know exact time. And that time TDA already came to the pictures. And then what happened? No number of users could not support more, could not be supported more. So people thought about this TDMA. What is TDMA? No, you have one device. This device can be allocated at least 5-10 people. What? No, one carrier, you can divide in terms of time. That first time slot given to one user, second time slot given to another users. This way number of users could be increased. Okay? And this came 3G. 3G came to picture, I think 2003, 2004. At that time, there was CDMA phone, used to call CDMA phone. It was the service user was by the Reliance. And that technology developed by Ericsson kind of things, okay? And I'm giving a nice story because of then after 3-4 years later, this technology absolute. Why, you know? Because of initially they thought that number of users per cell could be 10 or could be 20. But interestingly what happened, you know, that users jump from 2 to 100. So the CDMA technology to support this communication, some kind of sequence or code was required. That time this code didn't have such kind of codes. So this Reliance Mobile or CDMA technology almost absolute. But the CDMA technology, it was one of the nice and finest technology at that time, but it became absolute because of the supporting technology. Nowadays, you can imagine that most of the military people, most of the secure service, they use this CDMA technology. I'm talking the 3G, the third circle. But now you will not find that 3G, 5G, 6G, there is no CDMA. It is only used for the secret service or for the military purpose, because this is very secure communication, nice communication. But then slowly that number of code was limited, that is resolved, but people are not looking to that one. But it was one of the secure communication at that time. But what was the problem? Problem was supporting more number of users in a cell. Can you imagine that how many people can be served in one cell? How many users can be served in one cell? Do you have any idea? No, right? So everyone is using mobile. So now, just before 1 hour before, could you able to connect everyone? If you call, no? So not possible still. Because of that, what about the capacity? Every cell there is a capacity. It could be 100, it could be 1,000, it could be 5,000 based on your location, based on the service provider. They decide that how many users we can accommodate. For example, if it is a Bangalore and if it is a, let's say, Samsung or Nokia office, okay? So you can imagine that one small place, 5,000 or 10,000 people can be served, okay? So that is the main reason, we need to move also 4G. That time it was also introduced kind of WebDM. So this, because when this evolved with the 2G, 3G, 4G, the requirement of data connectivity and your reliability, that I'll call, my call will not get disconnected, that reliability is evolved with OFDM. Why? Now, because if you go a little bit far away and outside of the, outdoor communication, what you'll realize that if you are sending something and it delays a lot and it takes a lot of time to receive the signals, so there is kind of interference, and technically we call it frequency selective fading channel. And that time, before 4G, there was no technology to avoid these frequency selective fading channels. But then 4G came to the pictures that they developed this, how this frequency selective fading can be avoided. But then again, reliability and high data rate was not resolved. Then 5G came to the pictures. They bring lot of antennas, okay, and then the MIMO concept came to the pictures. But then again, when it was MIMO, there is an error in the channel. Then how will you receive at the receiver? So those kind of things solved by the 5G, okay. But now you know that in here, even not everyone has the same requirement. Someone want to watch YouTube. Someone just need for phone call. Someone need just for message, okay. That 4G, everyone has the same bandwidth. You have to pay the same amount of money. If you are getting connection, you have to, but wait for another 1 year or 2 years. So what you get, no, that okay, if you think that I'll just use for the similar kind of data service, okay, I no need, then there will be some kind of package, So this package come in technology, that slicing technology. So let's say some industrial people, they may need high data rate, and the ordinary people, they just need to have a call. Some people, they just need to have a message. So this network slicing technology came to the picture in the 5G. Then the question is coming, why is 6G? That 6G coming to the pictures, I'll be giving some 4-5 slides, then you can understand that the data, that there is huge data. Because nowadays it is not only to the communication, it is to integrate to the vehicle, integrate to your medical health, integrate to your agriculture, integrate to your housing equipments. So everything will be integrated and everything will be connected together. Then who can handle all these things? So that comes the data science to the pictures, okay? And data science, then again data science, do you write some kind of lookup table, some kind of algorithm to handle all these things? Again, it is a very difficult task. So that AI came to the pictures, okay? So that is the main goal of this conference. And then, just some, next slide please. You see, just that blue or green line, these are the some kind of 5G, 3G, okay? But 6G, if you can see that the entire spectrum, it is starting from the 4 gigahertz and it is going to 750 terahertz. So such a huge bandwidth, if we can use, and one may argue that why we need such kind of data rate, because the many technology not yet come to the pictures because of we are not able to provide this huge data rate. For example, augmented reality, virtual reality. So now you have to sit here, but if the virtual reality come and augmented reality come, you could get the same environment, you can get the same ambience even by sitting at your home. But to support this data rate, we need at least 20 gigahertz, 10 gigahertz. But current technology does not support such kind of data rate. So then 6G, actually huge bandwidth, that we can use. The question automatically comes that why we are not using this high frequency. The question is, even 20 years before, now your 5G or 4G, currently we are using 2 to 5 gigahertz carrier frequency. But at that time, we used to call it crazy frequency because we could not able to understand the behavior nature of this high frequency. Till we are not fully characterized this higher, let's say 100 terahertz, 100 gigahertz, we are not able to fully study it. Okay? So then there are a lot of opportunities is there. Technology is ready. AI, that augmented reality, virtual reality, they are about to come, but we are unable to support. That may be the reason we are not able to use those technology. Next slide. Next slide. Next. Yeah, just see. So the future communications. So every road has to be connected by some device. It may be UAV, it may be cloud, it may be base station, it may be your access point. So then all these things has to be connected to each and every equipment. So in house, that Wi-Fi or wireless will be connected to your fridge, connected to your lighting system, connected to your gate, even it will be connected to doctor, it will be connected to your nurse, and each and everything will be connected. And handling such data rate is very, very difficult. So that may be the one reason we are needing this smart home. And next slide. Next slide, please. This is a smart home. You can see that the camera, the gate, the voice control system, your fridge, lighting system, everything connected to the one, okay? And handling such data without AIML and manually, it may be very, very difficult, okay? That is maybe the one reason that we need the data science. Next slide, please. That IoT network. To connectivity, to make a connectivity, if we put a base station at home, base station at classroom, it's not possible, right? So we need to bring a teeny device which need a less power, which can be easily manageable. So such kind of device we need, and those are called IoT networks, okay? And small device, power consumption will be very less, and the data rate also not need, because I just need to connect to some one device. I need to just connect to another device. So this way we can manage by using the IoT network. Next slide, please. As I said that, smart healthcare, and you can see that a doctor or a nurse can monitor each and everything from the hospital, even if you are not in hospital or nursing home, okay? So this way we can use this 5G or 6G technology, and where data science and AI is very, very essential. Yeah, thank you very much. I'll not take much time. I can understand that you are tired. Okay, thank you. Okay, do you have any questions, by the way? Okay, then fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful session. We have one more keynote session from Dr. Alessandro Vizzariso, University of Rome Tour. The keynote session will be started within 5 minutes. Please be waited for 5 minutes.
So I can see there. For me, it's okay now here. How we can skip the slides?
Do you want head mic?
No, it is not necessary. Only the presenter. Okay. Okay. I'm just thinking about the possibility to have a headphone or the microphone. Yeah, for me to. Thank you. Oh, I can skip that. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you start? Can we start? Okay.
A warm good morning to everyone. It's my great pleasure to introduce one of our guest of honor, Dr. Alessandro Visariso. Dr. Alessandro Visariso received the master's degree in electronic engineering from the University of Bologna, PhD in telecommunication engineering and microelectronics from the University of Rome, Tar Vergata, and a post-laureate diploma from the Superior Institute of Communication. He is a researcher in the telecommunication at the University of Rome. He worked previously as a project manager for the Radio Labs Consortium and a researcher at the University of G. Marconi. He also worked as a consultant engineer and senior manager for vendor, manufacturing and consultancy companies operating in ICT market, in particular wireless networks, broadcast networks, digital transmissions, multimedia systems, project management. He has been the senior project manager of several European international projects on ICT. He is a board member of Engineers AICT and a member of the Order of Engineers in Rome. This is just a brief introduction about the Dr. Alessandro Visari, sir. We look forward to your keynote session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning, all. Thank you very much for the invitation. I would like in this speech give you a brief overview of the decentralized technologies. Is there anyone here able to know the blockchain, bitcoins, and decentralized technologies? Is there anyone? Did you hear this name? Do you know this name? Okay, so The concept of decentralization, of network decentralization, is not new, because we started from the initial phases of internet with centralized architecture, but in the meantime, in the last years, the centralized schemes have grown up the interest from the scientific scientists and scientific communities. As you can see here, we have a single, on the left part of the slides, we have a single point, a central point. In the right part of the network, we have a mesh, the decentralized nodes, where the nodes can talk, one node can talk with the other one, and vice versa. But how this decentralized scheme can be viewed within the network evolution? We need to consider that we are going to the 6G network phase. Here, most of you have 5G networks, 5G mobile network, able to connect to the 5G networks and so on. But I would like to remind you that the initial phase of 6G standardization has already started. So the standardization bodies have already identified the most important use cases, for example, driverless car, or the usage of drones, or the usage of several decentralized nodes within the future 6G networks. With the 6G networks called IMT 2030, we identify the 6G, the commercial name of the 6G networks. But it is not only a number different from 5G. We will pass from 5G to 6G, not only changing one digit from 5 to 6, but we will have several changes. So we need to skip the previous paradigm, because with the 6G we have several small nodes with radio front ends and radio access networks across our street, along our street, within our cities, and so on. So we will have small radio access point with these new technologies, with a small distance, with a high bandwidth, so we can assist, for example, a driverless drone or a driverless car, the future driverless car. With very low latency. We are talking about 1 millisecond latency, from 1 to 5 milliseconds, values that are not available now with the first legacy, in general with the standard of 5G, but also with the legacy 5G networks. So this concept of decentralization is within now, in these last years, can be placed within a technological triad. We have a triad with 3 main categories interacting now, from now and in the next futures. We have, first of all, we have on the left, as I put there, the virtual, the extended reality, augmented reality world technologies. The second group of technology is represented by artificial intelligence and machine learning, that are all techniques, all technologies able to reproduce some capabilities of our actions. And the third one is represented by the blockchain systems. The blockchain systems, as I mentioned before, is known for the first implementation by the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency. But in the last years, the blockchain system, it is the infrastructure underlying the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, gained more interest, because this scheme applies this decentralized scheme. We have several nodes without a central entity. We have different nodes able to interact among them. There are other features. There are, of course, advantages and disadvantages for this decentralized scheme. But with no doubt, we have the interaction of these three main categories, and these 3 main categories will be native for the new 6G networks. This is very important for you, for the future specialists of radio mobile networks, of platforms, and so on. With the 6G, we have to change the mindset, because with until the 5G, we have some capabilities. With the 6G, we will have heterogeneous network interacting native. by the standard. We will have distributed intelligence, thanks to the artificial intelligence machine learning. We have a decentralized scheme. We have nodes able to interact among them with high level of security. And what is the main concern about Web 3? Do you know Web 3? Did you hear this name before, Web 3 name? Web 3 is, just to clarify, Web 3 is quite different from Web 3.0, because Web 3.0 is the third phase, is the third evolution of the web technologies. As I put in these slides, we started from the first version of the web, Web 1 release, where we had basic web pages with HTML technologies, the very basic first standard of HTML. We launched the first trials of e-commerce services and so on. But in the second phase with the Web 2.0, we assisted to an interaction between the server, the website, and the users. So the user can upload the contents. So we talk about user-generated content, for example. We have interaction thanks to the social networks, videos, photos, and so on, with the advent of the Web 2.0. With the future Web 3.0, it is the third phase of the web, we will have the semantic web. We will be able to search contents, tags, according to the semantic knowledge, the semantic meaning extracted from the web pages, for example. So the search engine, for example, Google, still now is working on the semantic meaning, semantic knowledge, on the knowledge-based information. But so we will have other technologies, of course, interoperability, artificial intelligence, machine learning. But the Web 3, the future Web 3, has as technology underlying this new generation as the blockchains, all the types of blockchains. So called Web 3. The Web 3 is the technology layer underlying the future Web 3.0. But what are the Web 3? Web 3 is based, of course, on the blockchains. We know that blockchains, as I mentioned before, is a collection of nodes, distributed nodes, able to talk among them, to exchange data, and the data exchanged in a secure way and in untampered way. It means that according to the Linux and the Unix time clock, we are able to identify in a unique way that transaction, data transfer between two nodes. It means that if the instant time interval T1, we have a first data transaction. In the second second interval, we have the second transaction, known before. So we have, thanks to the Unix time clock, we can identify a temporal, a chronological order, of course. But this is the basic scheme of the blockchain already used. The Web 3, of course, should take an account from the evolution of the blockchains, because we starting from the public blockchains, in parallel we developed the private blockchains, where we have a subset of nodes managed by a central node. So we are referring to a central node able to manage a few decentralized nodes, but we are assisting to the creation of the blockchain of consortium nodes. So consortium blockchain is known as the possibility to have a different subset of nodes managed by a central node that are able to interact with them, to exchange data, not only cryptocurrencies, but also data, which is a string of information. The evolution of blockchains is clear, because we started from the blockchain from layer 1, that is Bitcoin or other blockchains I mentioned before. The layer 2, in order to improve the scalability, we have other technologies able to guarantee the scalability of the nodes. The layer 3 is able to apply high security level, for example, decentralized applications. And about decentralized application, about decentralized functions and decentralized organization, guys, you are the future, because in the next years, the Web 3 will be organized with this scheme. with the layer 3 blockchains. It means that people like you are going to work on the metaverse environment, metaverse technologies, virtual reality technologies, augmented gaming technologies. The game market is requested high-level skills on blockchains, on Web3 and blockchains and decentralized apps. As I will show you a final slides where I put in evidence the skill shortage about this, because this is the future. It means, I will show you, I can skip some slides because I don't have much time, but anyway, using the blockchain, we need to manage three constraints. The needs for decentralization, the scalability, and also the security. The main problem of the blockchain is the decentralization, because if I'm not able to have a central node, but I have a huge number of decentralized nodes, I have the problem for the latency for approval transaction and so on, because the main scheme, the main idea of the blockchain is to collect all the information on transaction, to store it on distributed ledger, distributed book, that is immutable. So you can change nothing in this book, of course, in this distributed ledger. But the problem is, if I have a huge number of nodes, how can I manage this network? So the scalability is important, and so there are new technologies, new features in the future that are able to guarantee high level of scalability of these technologies, because we are already talking about the Internet of blockchains. Blockchains of blockchains or Internet of blockchains. So the future is this. There are several techniques to guarantee this, level 2, level 3, but we have no time to discuss this. But this is the slides I would like to mention, because this represents the futures of the web. Because on the left part we have the traditional Web 2 technologies underlying the Web 2.0, where we have the cloud systems, a vertical cloud system. For example, we have the world environment of Amazon cloud, of Microsoft cloud, of other booking cloud, Facebook cloud, and so on, that are all vertical clouds. They can exchange some data among them. We have problems, of course, we have issues on securities, on tampering of data, on service access, for example, the identity, and so on. So the security is the crucial aspect now, and we have high level of security we need to guarantee now for the cloud systems, for the federated cloud. So we are currently, the technologies, the companies are going to distribute, to decentralize the cloud, but every cloud is a vertical environment. So it means that Amazon is able to, decided to export a subset of data or your credentials to another cloud providers for other services and so on. We hope that you can authorize this, of course, to exchange this data. But the problem is that these vertical clouds cannot able to interact in an efficient way. And the most important is that from a business point of view, the customer of Microsoft should be the same of Amazon, but the two companies want to manage the same customer in an independent way, of course. This is a lack, of course, of business opportunities, business models, business interactions, and also a technological point, technological issues. What we can expect with the Web 3? With the Web 3, I have to underline that we have already some practical installations of Web 3 technologies, such as I said before, in the metaverse, such as in the world of mixed realities, and so on. With the advent of the Web 3, we have the users able to access as a node, is a node of a decentralized blockchain, is of a network of blockchains. So it means that one node can access to and can interact with the other node, another one, with different nodes, thanks to the wallet based on the public and private key, because the blockchain implements the public key infrastructure. So we have a couple unique credential, public, private key. It means that the users, when he's going to browse on the web, the address or the URL of the link, is able to send this request based on the information present in his wallet. This is a change of mindset. We have already several installations now in the web, as I said before, in the metaverse, as I said in the augmented reality in Facebook, for example, and other services. But in the case of Facebook, we have some Web3 services within the environment of the companies belonging to Facebook, not from Facebook and then other companies. This is the problem. And several companies are going to establish new kind of agreement, new kind of business model, and also new technological feature to enable this new concept of internet. This is the internet of blockchains. We have several blockchains interacting among them, able to offer new services to the citizen, to the users, and so on. This is a new scheme, a new concept. And guys, we need you, your future knowledge, your future expertise, your mindset, your innovative mindset, because we will have new problems, we have new issues to be managed with your creativity, with your rethinking of new problems in order to find new solutions. And these schemes are crucial for the Internet of the future. Of course, these features are strictly related with your skills. We have several new applications, such as, for example, the identity management. We don't have a central entity to guarantee the credential exchanges, but we have the node between the user and the public government. This scheme is already used, for example, in the European Commission, European environments by several countries, including also Italy, where we have an overlay network constituted by the blockchains, where the user manages his own wallet, can decide to exchange what kind of data can be exchanged with the public administration, and with this agreement between the user and the government, the data exchanging is enabled, of course. Only the data necessary for that services in a decentralized scheme. So we have the node constituted by the users, the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Transport, public government, and so on. They are all nodes across the same or different blockchains. Another important application, do you know non-fungible tokens? Did you know non-fungible tokens before today? Non-fungible tokens, I'm going to explain this very, very quickly. The non-fungible tokens is the digital print, the unique digital print, such as a photo, a video of your digital asset. It is unique. It means that it is associated an hash, unique hash, because an hash function is an informatic technique which is not reversible. It means that if I can generate an hash information, I cannot derive it, I cannot modify it, of course. That hash is associated to that information, and that's it. That I cannot change it. It means that if I have my photo, for example, near the Colosseum in Rome or near here in India with your beautiful places, several temples of in Bangalore or in New Delhi, you have your unique photo, digital asset that you can sell. It means that several people across the world are going to sell his own digital assets, such as a photo, video, digital scheme, digital design, digital draw, for example, both native, it means that they can draw a digital sign from native, or they can capture a digital photo from the environment. In both of these cases, they can publish this information with a unique, of course, unique hash, unique information. He's the unique owner across the world. What does it mean? It means that I can sell it. These are the values obtain it by selling non-fungible tokens. If you are going to use metaverse, augmented reality, mixed reality, and so on, including metaverse, as I said before, you can find this, and there are people paying money to have a digital copy of your unique digital asset, because you are the only people, you are the only person able to take a picture, for example, in that place, in that moment, with the sun, with those colors in that moment, and so on. That are people paying this knowledge, this digital asset. This is another application of the future of Web3. What I describing now is already implemented in the Web 2.0, and of course in the future Web 3.0 environment. Okay? So we can think about an evolution of these technologies. Decentralized finance. If you are going to work for a bank, for an economic institution, for example, you will manage this information across several nodes belonging to several and different financial institutions in order to secure data transaction. It is enough, for example, to think about the international bank transfer, where we have a lot of money, for example, to transfer. So we need, the financial institution needs to be sure that a specific data transaction with a specific amount of money will be executed successfully in that period, in that instant, in that day. So we passing from a centralized finance, where we have the bank, the central bank, and so on. We are reaching a network of banks, network of nodes, able to talk among them in terms of data transactions, also to avoid frauds, also to avoid negative issues, and so on. It was demonstrated that the blockchain was a strong and efficient instrument to avoid frauds, to avoid the duplication of data exchanging, data manipulations, and so on. For the future, yeah, we have a strong relationship with IoT, Internet of Things, for example. That is another sector of the network of the future, because we have several digital objects in our life, in our cities. Cybersecurity, as I said before, the Web3 is secure by design, because it implements also digital signature. There are other problems, such as latency, approval of data transactions, and so on, the scalability, of course, but it is secure by design. It means that the data exchanging across the nodes, across the blockchains, cannot be modified. In the meantime, the federated cloud, we work on the federated cloud with the blockchain implementations, where a node of federated cloud will be a node of Web3. The last trends you can see here. There are several platforms offering the blockchain as a service. It means that you can balance your knowledge, not necessarily high-level knowledge of blockchain, but a medium knowledge. Using this platform, you can build up your blockchain, your services, in order to reduce the time to market, of course. So the blockchain as a service is another important aspect of the future, of the web of the future, of course. The artificial intelligence is an important building block, also because thanks to the generative AI. Do you know the generative AI? What does it mean? Generative AI is the applicability of the artificial intelligence to generate in the simplest way new contents, and to automatize, to offer high-level automation of these services. Thanks to the generated AI, you can speed up the process of creation of your blockchain or your platforms. So there is a string relationship between the blockchain, Web3, and artificial intelligence, generative AI. This is the future. All of you, you are going to work as artificial intelligence specialists, will be employed will be involved in a large team where we will find blockchain specialists, artificial intelligence specialists, communication network specialists, and so on. The other trends, I would like only to mention this because, as I said before, we are still in the years of the semantic networks, the semantic meaning, the semantic data, which is the relationship between the input data, the real data, and the information the meaning can extract not only from that input data, but a collection, a huge number of data. I can extract a meaning, a powerful meaning of this data. So this scheme is from my paper I recently submitted to a conference, Italian international conference, but I would like only to mention that you are, for your researchers, for your further activities, we are still talking about the blockchain, or the usage of blockchain within a semantic scheme, where we have the semantic information, semantic meaning to be secured. How can secure this information, this meaning, this meaning of data? I can use the blockchain. Thanks to the generative AI engine, can create a smart contract. Smart contract is a conditional, a software code, a piece of code, able to instances the conditional statements, if then else. If the case 1, you can do the action B, and so on. This is the scheme of the semantic networks now in the moment where we can include the blockchain layer, the blockchain technologies to secure and to offer high-level automation of data exchange. But in this case, we are not talking about the input data, but only the meaning of data, the semantic knowledge of data. So I think that we don't have much time anymore, but let me conclude this keynote speech with this. The game market is asking a huge number of engineers, new engineers, scientists in statistics, mathematics, virtual design, virtual environment design, and so on. The game environment. It means that all these technology, all these platforms, I don't know if you know some name, for example, here you can find some of them. For example, there are several game platforms. They already implement Web3 technologies thanks to the blockchains for 2 main categories of purposes. First one, to manage, for example, cryptocurrencies, digital credits for the players. This is the first reason. The second reason is to offer high-level automation between several nodes. It means that they can accept several nodes if they belong to the same blockchain or the blockchain belonging to a network of blockchain. They already implement this up to now. If you are going to work in the company of the futures, the blockchain is used also to manage the flow, the data flow among all colleagues, of course, in order to guarantee security, data confidentiality, to avoid the data manipulation within the company environment, not only from the company and the users, within the same company. So you have to take in mind, to take into account that also the organization of a company will be changed in the future in order to secure data, because the data has a value. The data as a value is to be monetized, and it means that several attacks are concentrated on the data lost, the data manipulation, and so on. And also to give money if you want to unlock the infrastructure. Finally, the skill shortage, you can see here. We have worldwide, across the world, we don't have the number of blockchain specialists requested by the companies across the world. And let me conclude with these slides. I'm very happy to read these slides because I take inspiration by Einstein. It is my reference, one of my reference points. That these sentences are focusing on the crucial role of the human factor. It means that the progress, the technologies, the digital technologies, of course, will be involved in our lives can guarantee high level of quality of our quality of life, of course, and so on. But the human factor, the human management, also for artificial intelligence and blockchain, for example, technologies, is crucial in order to guarantee, of course, a correct usage of these technologies for the benefits of the collectivity of our lives. I have to thank you for the attention. Thank you very much for the attention, and thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful session. Thank you, one and all.